So today we're going to discuss the new Z Awakening that's coming to JP and what impact that'll have on global. So we'll be right back in just a moment. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gotians Games. Today we are discussing the new Z Awakening that's going to be dropping on JP pretty soon. So maybe even already live by the time this video goes live. What we're discussing is not so much the effect that it's going to have on JP, but the effect that it's going to have on global. You're probably like, Goshen, why are you talking about global? Well, the reason why I'm talking about global is because I'm a global player, and I know a lot of you guys are as well. So it's always nice to know what kind of impact that the game is going to have in the future. And this is one of those things that generally comes sooner rather than later. And the reason why is because it's a quality of life update. And, you know, a clear indication of quality of life updates that come sooner is the category leaders. You know, we got the category leads, you know, Omega and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. We finally got their leader skills. They finally released the category system in global, and we haven't even finished our 120 leads yet. So, you know, it's little things like that that they tend to bring a lot sooner. Another example of quality of life update that came sooner rather than when it should have was the Super 17 mechanic. Okay, we got in the game the whole energy and physical super attacks. They implemented the whole thing where stacking mechanic stays through the phases. So we got that earlier instead of when Super 17 dropped, like they did in global or in JP. I'm sorry. So that's why we're going to discuss, you know, what's going on, what's going to come to us in the future for global, especially when you're looking at JP at the moment. So in order to get there, I have to explain a couple things that's going on in JP or in global at the moment that are kind of behind the scenes. So what I'm talking about is the cards that are actually in the game at the moment but are not active. They're listed as inactive cards that we have them already in the data for the game. Those cards that I'm talking about is actually the rest of the category leads. So Strength Ultimate Gohan is in the categories or is in the game already, but he's listed as inactive. We have Angel Frieza is in the game but inactive. We have besides those, we have LR Mighty Mask, we have LR Trunks. You know, those cards are already in the data for the game, so they will probably be dropping again sooner than later. And so bringing that into full circle for what we're actually discussing in the video is the Z Awakening. So to explain what the Z Awakening process is basically you're taking a unit that's 120, it's already a TUR, it's 120 level, and you're able to awaken it further. This is something that they have in Blazing that they call limit breaking. So it's pretty much the same system, just with the tweak. So the way that Dokkan's doing it is, for example, the Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku that they're marketing as the first one for the Z Awakening. In order to Z Awaken him, you have to compete, or not compete, but you have to play through an event, and that event has I forgot how many stages it has, but it has a ton of stages that you go through. And so each stage is kind of sectioned off into brackets. So you get bronze medals, you get silver medals, and gold medals, and I believe diamond medals or platinum medals. So with those medals, you actually use those medals to awaken your unit beyond the set level. So with the bronze medals, I believe you awaken it from 120 to 125 or 130. So, you know, which each type of medals, it allows you to awaken them further. The other thing on top of that is once you get to a certain level, you get changes on the card. So you get to level 130, the leader skill changes on Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku. It actually becomes a 70% lead at that point. You get him to level 140, which is the cap, so that's the maximum level. Get him to level 140, and then you can actually upgrade his super attack to super attack 15. And his passive changes. He gets a 70% boost to his defense, and his attack is now 120% for 7 turns, which makes him ridiculous. On top of that, the stats, of course, improve. There are some leaks that other Dokkan YouTubers have shown. The leaks are showing him at his max 100%, and he's basically almost at LR's stats, which is insane. So they're doing this. They're gonna be doing this with a whole bunch of cards, and they're starting with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Most likely they'll be doing the Intelligence Ultimate Gohan. They'll be doing the Tech Cell. They're gonna do the previous leads that are no longer relevant, or not that they're not relevant, because some of them are, but that are in great need of an update. So that's what they're gonna be doing now. So how does this impact global? This impacts global because, like I said, this is one of those updates that we will get sooner rather than later. And when it comes sooner, it's a good thing. But again, if it's too early, it will impact the game to the point that it's going to make it so much easier. And that's really not what global players want. And I'm speaking from my experiences that I don't want the game to be too easy, because then everything, you just blow right by it. And I know that I'm at the point in my global account where it's like, okay, I log in, I get my daily bonuses, and that's it. I run the orb event, I'm done, because I've ran everything, because it's too easy, especially now with the 120, or I'm sorry, with the category leaders that we finally got the leader skills for. Honestly, nothing is going to be difficult until they drop the super fierce battle that they have on JP, which hopefully that's another quality of life update that maybe we get sooner than later. If we get that sooner than later, then I will be okay with them dropping the Z Awakening around the same time, because then that would make sense, because super fierce battle road, or super battle road, or whatever you want to call it, is such a difficult event that having the Z Awakenings would help tremendously, especially to the free-to-play players who might have those units who get the Z Awakening but don't have some of the other good cards that you might use instead. So that's a very, very helpful mechanic if you're going to be running the super battle road in order to try to get that LR Kid Gohan. I'm not going to go too much into detail, because you can go ahead and watch some of the other videos that people have put out, because I know like everybody's put out a whole ton of videos at this point. But I really wanted to discuss like how it impacts global, and how we can see things at a global standpoint, because JP gets everything first, and you can kind of consider JP as like a how do you put it, as like a beta test. Okay, because everything comes out there first, obviously, because they are like 4 to 6 months ahead. But knowing what's to come, we can kind of prepare for the future. So those of you with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the AGL one, and you have not really done much with him, now you know, hey, this is what he's going to turn into. So you might want to start leveling him up. You might want to start raising up his super attack, putting orbs into him when you can, getting him ready, so when the Z Awakening mechanic comes, we can go ahead and awaken him and go through the whole process. There is something to note with the whole Z Awakening section of the game, is that the difficulty for that event increases as you go to a higher floor, because it's like think of it like this. It's very similar to the Phantom Castle or Ninja Road, where as you continue on, it gets harder. And yeah, I would say Ninja Road for you blazing people. So as you continue on through the Ninja Road, it gets harder as you get to the 20th stage. Now, this isn't the same way. because it's not like a continuous thing. So you finish one floor, you go on to the next, you go on to the next, you go on to the next. It's very similar to the Heroes and Villains event that comes on the weekend. You know, I honestly, I wish they I wish they would have done something a little bit different. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. This is a good thing to come to the game. I'm not squashing that at all. It's a very good thing that came, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get this sooner rather than later on global. So with that, let me know what you guys think. Let's have a discussion. Let me know down in the comments if you want this to come as quickly as possible. Do you want it to come before we get Super Fierce Battle, or do you want it to come kind of around the same time? Let me know what units you think are eligible for the Z Awakening. Personally, like I said, the next couple units from that I see happening in the future, or you know, in the relative future, is the Intelligence Gohan, the Tech Perfect Cell, perhaps Full Power Frieza, Strength Broly. You know, I could see those units getting the Z Awakenings, you know, before some of the other units. You know, obviously the 120 units would not be eligible yet because they're still relevant. They are still powerful cards. I really don't see them getting Z Awakenings anytime soon, until we get another power creep, which might happen in another 6 months or so, the way that they're changing the meta so quickly. But let me know, guys. Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys in my next video. You guys have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time zone you're at. Peace out, guys.